As the big man himself, Robbie Burns, once said, the best laid plans of mice and men often end up getting cooked in the ashtray or something like that. I had all good intentions. I had my little trip planned. I was going to head over to Ireland, do the Wild Atlantic Way, and then I saw the price of campsites in Ireland at the moment, which made me say, sod that. So instead I decided I'll stick in my bonny Scotland, know what I'm doing here, and you can wild camp wherever you want, which is lovely. To spice things up, I thought instead of taking a smartphone, I'll take a burner phone with me, just have my wife's phone number in it, nothing else, just to see what it's like to go without the old mobile phone for a while, ditch the apps, etc. But yeah, as you'll see, a combination of Scotland being Scotland and my tent being ancient, things didn't quite go the way I hoped, but hopefully you can find some pleasure in my misery.
Well folks, here we go. Departure date was a little bit delayed. Had to leave it one extra day later. There was the last time I took a week off to have a bike trip and do a bit of bike camping. I had the V-Strom 800DE. It was in January. I was going to take a bit of time off, do a bit of camping. I managed a little bit in February, as you saw in my other video. But the week I wanted to go, unfortunately, was thwarted by Storm Owen. Owen begins with an E. And this week I've got taken some time off. And lo and behold, Storm Floris, the next one alphabetically. So if you are planning on booking a holiday to Scotland, give me a call, find out what time I'm off. And don't come then. Yes, sir. Yes. This is just coming into Inverary now. Cheers. Just having a little chat with a group of Germans there who are over for 2 weeks. I was practicing my German, but the fact that he kept responding in English means I probably need to practice a bit more. That was a bit gritty. So just coming into the beautiful little town that is Oban now. Town centre that way. Only been here a couple of times, but it really is just one of those absolutely stunning little towns. Is this actually the way to the town centre? It really doesn't feel like it, but hey ho. It's fine. Who doesn't love a nice industrial estate? It's fair to say that was indeed the wrong way, and I ended up at an industrial estate in the middle of nowhere, which was really nice. But yeah, this is Oban. It's a cracking wee place. Nice little collection of bikes here. So stopped there, had a nice little fish and chips there that was absolutely dynamite. And then a bird shot on me, which was quite funny. So I was sitting with a nice English couple at a little picnic table there, and we all had a good laugh. So I'm sitting at about 117 miles here, which seems like as good a time as any to start talking about the bike. Comfort wise, 160 miles, 10 miles ago is when my arse finally told me that it was mildly numb. In no way, I mean, I've been super numb on some bikes. You're sitting on them and genuinely, you'll know yourself if you've been on one, you can be 30 miles in on some bikes and it's agony, or less on some, but not had that for a while. But no, I think to get to 160 miles, and like I say, I'm not uncomfortable, I'm just aware of it. This is not a touring bike, I don't know if you've noticed that yet, but it's a little naked bike. Naked bikes, you're always going to get blasted by the wind. I could put a screen on it if I wanted. I'm actually not finding it too bad, which is good, because it's particularly, it's not particularly, it's quite windy just now. It's not, it could be a lot worse, and you always feel it a lot more on a windy day. But no, it's fine. The wind protection's actually not too bad on this. As much as the tank isn't massive, it seems to be just a big enough size where it keeps the wind off your knees, and the wind hitting my chest it's pleasant, clean air. There's no turbulence that you get with the screens, which is always the downside of when you do start to go for the more touring stuff. The luggage capacity it's not brilliant, so, and obviously it's got quite a small back seat. I think yeah, if I was living with this bike and want to do this kind of stuff, I'd probably buy more suitable luggage for it. I normally, when I go on these camping trips, I've normally got a great big 70-litre dry bag, chuck everything in that, and the good thing is when you get to where you're going camping, you just pull the full bag off. You're not having to lug various bits and bobs of equipment with you. I tried it with this, and I could have made it work, but it was looking a little bit precarious, and I thought, nah, I'm not taking any chances. Luckily, my mate John across the road had this beautiful Kriega modular luggage system, which is excellent. It's really waterproof, hopefully. And yeah, that's gone on quite nicely, and even had room for my guitar. So yeah, no, it's one of those things. If you were going to go a lot of touring, buy the V-Strom 800. You still get all the benefits of this fun engine, but you've got much better touring capability. They come with that little rack at the back. But I had the DE, that was perfect for putting my bag over the top. I had no worries with that. But this handles better, you know. Obviously it's got slightly more stiff suspension, it's a bit more rigid, and it trips into a corner much quicker. So the bike you need to buy is the one that suits you best. There's not, you know, there's always going to be a bit of a compromise. In an ideal world, you just buy lots of bikes. It's not an ideal world, so you've just got to work out what compromises you are happiest to take. And this is basically the last place we can grab some supplies before we get to where we're going tonight. We've got a big old co-op over here. You come up to this part of Scotland, you're going to see a lot of co-ops, not much else, but they are handy. So that's where we're heading now, the Corran Ferry. Got all my stuff loaded up on the bike. This is definitely at the point I think we've reached the capacity of the bike now. As much bits and bobs on here as I can possibly fit. I tried to shop relatively light, but there really wasn't a lot of selection in that shop, to be honest with you. I was looking for peppers and a lime. I substituted that for a lemon and nothing. Nice! So we're looking this time, we're going to roll straight on. Doesn't look like the ferry's on at all. Damn. Oh well, looks like I'm not going this way. Never even thought to check that, but yeah, it looks like this ferry is well and truly off, because there's not even a way onto it. So that'll add a little bit of time to my journey. No worries. Better crack on then. Have to head up to Fort William, then back down the way. Ah well. Nice day for it. So there we go, there's my first little faux pas of not bringing a smartphone. Corran Ferry was off, so I had to go up this way, up by Fort Bill, which isn't a big problem. Apart from the fact, just wasn't 100% sure where you turn off. Never done it before up from up here, I always just get the ferry. So what did I do? I popped into a petrol station and spoke to a human being, just like we used to do. Or we used to carry maps as well, but let's see. Leslie very kindly lent me a map, and it is sitting in my drawer at work, because I'm a fud. Yeah, because of my little lack of ferries, I'm coming down the road now, which is the way you'll be coming back tomorrow, which is handy at least, because I'd kind of planned that route in my head, so I don't really need to worry too much about where I'm going now. Only downside is I like to get set up with my tent for about 5 normally. There's enough time to go and do a bit of a firewood mission, all that kind of stuff. As far as I remember, it'd be interesting to see. Let's have a look. We're 4:30 now. How long it actually takes to get from the end of this road you get to Salon, I think it should be, and then it felt like it took about 2 hours to get to the very end, but it probably didn't take that long. We'll see. Either way, the road was stunning the whole way. You'll see it. I think we've got a great night for it too, where it's going to look pretty. I'm quite looking forward to it. But yeah, I reckon hour and a half, maybe it was actually just an hour and a half. Nice. Passing places, we're gonna pass places tonight. Thank you, Unica. Yeah, so it turns out the way I'm going just now is the way that takes you to the other side of the Corn Ferry. So it's a heck of a detour. I did think you had to go past the Glenfinnan Viaduct before you went down the Salon Road. I just saw the name of a place that's on this peninsula and thought, let's go there. So yeah, I've extended my journey time significantly, but that's cool. Like I say, not really in a rush. Well, I'd like to be set up by 5, that's not going to happen, 10 past 5 now, but it's cool. I keep spotting loads of little nice bits down by the water that I can stop at, because where I'm heading to is a big beautiful beach, and it is, you know, great for seeing the sunset and getting sand everywhere. But yeah, I think in terms of wood, you're literally looking at driftwood as you are on most beaches. Not a lot in the way of trees going on. I've seen quite a few little bits down here that look good. Downside, of course, is when you're next to a loch and it's this time of year, you're going to get eaten alive by midges. There's not quite so many midges down by the beach, so I'm hoping I can just push through, get to the end of this. Make it sound like it's an arduous slog. It's really not. It's beautiful. So yeah, there's the other side of the Corn Ferry. There's the ferry we saw in the water earlier on, which is clearly not in service. The other thing I should have done when I was in Fort William was got a little bit of petrol, but there is an unmanned station not too far from here, so I'll just make sure I brim the old tank. Countryman. So just coming into Strontian now. Now somewhere around here, I think it's here, is where this fierce expensive petrol station is. I don't know how bad it is at the moment, but generally if you are over here, plan your routes. Don't be like me and buy your fuel vastly cheaper, or support your local petrol merchant. Well, you're not local at all, are you? You're a very remote petrol merchant out in the middle of nowhere. There it is. Here's your price per litre, 156 pence. How does this one work? You want to pay over there or something? Pay for petrol in here or pay at the pump?
It's self-service, you come in here and pay. Yeah.
You pay here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's grand. Go and chuck some petrol in this bad boy and go and pay the man. Nice old fella. Well, look at that majestic beast. Well, there we go. That's me all fueled up again. I was just thinking there as well, it's just a stroke of luck that I got here the time I did, because obviously you need to go to the shop to pay for the petrol there. I had it in my head that even if I did make it to here, it was a pay at the pump kind of a job, but it is not. But like I say, I would have just slept down there or something like that. Actually looks like a perfectly good place to camp as well. So, oh well, I'll no be doing that though. that's alright then, that's us at Salin, so there was no strange extra turns we had to make, and it's just straight on from here, I believe. There's loads of little bits on this road, if I'm on the right road, that just kind of go right past the water. In fact, that's actually making me think that maybe I am on the wrong road. Yeah, I had taken a wrong turn in there. I recognise this bit because this is where I split off last time when me and my mates were here. I was going that way, they were going this way. But yeah, there's actually Ardnamurchan Distillery. Someone was telling me about that recently too. I'll need to nip into that in the morning. I do love a distillery because I love whiskey.
My original plan was only to do about 240 miles this day, but thanks to me not checking about the ferry being on and also taking a bit of a wrong way when I was heading down here, I ended up doing 295 miles the first day. I have to say though, I was still pretty comfy, pretty knackered, but yeah, quite comfy considering it was a naked bike with all my kit on it, so yeah, no complaints there. I'm sure some of you are wondering what the hell I've done to that beautiful bike. Apologies to Suzuki for making it look the way I have. I didn't have a tank bag that was a universal one, the only one I had was a Bagster one, and I had an old Bagster cover for a different bike, so I thought I'll get the Sharpies out, and taking inspiration from the GSX of the 90s, I decided I would try and put my artistic skills into use, but unfortunately, as you can see, I don't have any.
That is shit. Worth it. Totally worth it. Such a spot. Home sweet home. Quite a noisy night, I think, in the tent. It's a bit blowy, but look at that. That'll do. So yeah, the mystery powder put in is my signature blend, top secret family recipe. I'll take it to the grave. No one's ever going to know that one. And yeah, I've got a lemon with me. I wanted a lime, they didn't have a lime, so I've got a lemon. Totally different flavour. Doesn't bring what I want at all. But that's what I've got. When life gives you lemons, moan about it. So I'm just thinking there, my whole thing is, you know, take the burner phone with me, because I look at my phone too much. But I'm kind of just sitting here and it's just kind of dawned on me, when I go camping I don't really look at my phone. So it's not really a fair test, this, of what it's like to not use your phone. A fairer test would be like, can't use it on the toilet, but that's impossible. Like, going for a dump and not using your phone is like, I mean, that's got to be limbo, right? That's limbo. Quite a few seeds in there too for a bit of extra crunch. I think it's going to be a tricky night's sleep. It's getting a bit windy. Didn't know this was going to happen. I did this to myself, but I've got an eye mask, earplugs. We'll see how we get on. Well, I was going to go to bed, but the wind decided that I now stay here. I mean, I don't mean the tent got blown here. I wish it did. I did know, you know, putting a tent down on sand when you know it's going to be really strong winds, it's never a brilliant idea. And I was starting to think about moving, and then I went to go and scope out a spot. When I came back, my tent was literally blown right in, so that made the decision easier. So now I really am tired, so I'm definitely going to go to bed. Oh, this is brutal now. My old tent, poor old tent. I've had it 20 years and it's never let me down. It is clearly not as waterproof as it used to be. Well, I'm not even ashamed to admit it, but I'm out. That was horrible. I wouldn't even call that sleep. That was nasty. So yeah, the old tent is definitely on its last legs. It's just letting in water like a sieve, which is not ideal. So I've just been sleeping in the shallow end. 20 years I've had it, so it's done a good shift, and it's stood up to way worse rain than this in the past. So it's obviously packed in. The wind as well, obviously it's been pretty windy. I knew that was going to come. Why I decided to go to the most westerly point of mainland Scotland when I knew there was westerly winds, I don't know. So yeah, the plan for tonight was originally to go and find somewhere a bit more sheltered, hunker down, somewhere relatively close, have a little fire there, but nah, if that thing's leaking like a sieve, then I'm out. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to pack up all my stuff. Sun's not even up yet. I've waited as long as I can. I'm just waiting for the sun to come up so I can go away. I'll get my stuff packed up. Sun should be up just after then. I'll be able to see at least. And then yeah, gonna head down to Loch Goyle Head, see a couple of friends who've got a place for the weekend there, and yeah, go and have a nice bath and I'll go to bed. So yeah, you've got to laugh, haven't you? Well, that's me out of that soaking wet tent and all packed up and ready to go. Probably not going to do much filming until I get a coffee in me, to be honest with you, but I'll catch you then. I didn't get a coffee yet. Missing too much wildlife. Big stags, very belligerent sheep. I think this is first thing in the morning, so nothing's been scared off yet. So seen quite a few big fancy things. So you might as well get to see them too. It's the boy. It's a very different road this morning after a poor night's sleep and a bit of rain. It was lovely, the bit of mist you're getting off everything. Just lovely. This little beach down there, I remember thinking that last time I was here. Don't know how you'd get there though, it does look like there's a little path over there. Stuff that though. That cool. Whole bunch of them staggering about.
I need whiskey, ibuprofen and a bath. I need whiskey, ibuprofen and a bath. I need whiskey, ibuprofen, whiskey, ibuprofen. I need whiskey, ibuprofen and a bath.